third of our night with the 11th overall
With the
pick.
11th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Tennessee Titans select Peter Skoronski, offensive tackle, Northwestern.
Well, Rich, if we think about the most offensive line thing ever, was probably Joe Thomas being on a boat fishing during the draft until Peter Skoronski got drafted tonight while sitting in a pizzeria in Chicago. This is a old school offensive lineman, stepped on the field right away and started at Northwestern. The pass pro, he can really bend, he's strong, he's firm in pass protection, does not have long arms, but knows how to use it and play around that. Look at his ability to redirect, he does that easy. That's something I think would translate really well inside if he ultimately ended up in there. The awareness, not a problem. Stunts, twists, games, he sees all of it coming towards him. He's able to pick it up smoothly and easily. The overall understanding of how to play, you see it when he's in space as a puller and when he's working up to the second level with excellent angles. To me, they announced him as a tackle, Charles. I think he'll get that opportunity at right tackle opposite Andre Dillard.
Remember, you mentioned Elijah Vera Tucker, and let's go to our Ram Truck NFL player comparison presented by them, and you see him there as a puller. But you said Elijah Vera Tucker, he played tackle last year a lot and played it in the Pro Bowl level. And how about this comp? That's his grandfather, Bob Skoronski.
Yes.
A former captain for Vince Lombardi. By the way, that's Dad in his grandfather's arms arriving for a Super Bowl, and he was given permission by Coach Lombardi to bring his family on that charter for the big ball game. Actually, it wasn't a Super Bowl. It's an NFL championship game against the Giants because Coach Lombardi held his grandfather in such high esteem. He said, you can bring your family on that trip because they had some other things going after.
With the 12th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select Jahmyr Gibbs, running back, Alabama.
All right, so two running backs in the first 12 picks of an NFL draft. I'm looking at Jack Andrade of NFL Network Research. I need to know the last time that happened. It was Fournette and McCaffrey in 2017. Look at you already having that. What do you know about this young man from Alabama going to Detroit?
This is a dynamic mismatch player in the mold of Jamal Charles. When you think about how he gets out in space and goes, he's got big time speed. Once he gets that foot in the ground and gets up the field, you can feel his burst and his speed. He did it at Georgia Tech first and then transferred to Alabama. Got to see it there with the Crimson Tide. He destroys angles. You see it all the time. Even in that conference, guys feel like they have the right angle. He destroys it. In the pass game, think about how Alvin Kamara has been used all these years with the New Orleans Saints. These little angle routes, linebackers have no shot. He's too shifty. He's too explosive. Again, you flex him out. Look at that change of direction, the separation. Easy completion underneath.
With the 13th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers select Lucas Van Ness, defensive end, Iowa.
So an Iowa kid is moving to Wisconsin. What do you think?
Well, this is a physical, rugged player, and we got to start with the elephant in the room because one of the critiques has been, hey, this guy didn't start at Iowa. Yeah. Why didn't he start? How is he a first-round pick? Well, they always play the older veteran leaders. Joel, you know that, calling all those games. Bill Parker. But he is their best defensive player, make no mistake about it. Inside, outside, he's got violent hands. You see his power right there working off the edge. They work him on the edge. He can knock you back in the run game. And then you can also kick him inside and let him rush in these sub downs. Guards had no chance against him in the Big Ten. He was too quick. He was too explosive. Again, that long arm inside. He's a very dynamic player. He does not stop. Every great pass rusher has this trait. They're relentless, and something just feels right. A guy from Iowa who's going to Green Bay, plays hockey and gets after people, CD. This just feels right.
Oh, hello, boards. Here comes a human. Hello, board. Here comes human. Wow.
The New England Patriots have traded the 14th pick to the Pittsburgh Steelers. With the 14th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Pittsburgh Steelers select Broderick Jones, offensive tackle, Georgia.
Yeah, this one felt obvious, guys. This was really the last one. If you miss out on Broderick Jones, you miss out on the tackle run. And I like the idea of Pittsburgh being aggressive, go up and get him. This is a supremely talented player. Again, another 3-year guy. When you factor in this group of 3-year players, their first year was the COVID year. So you talk about more upside. Like, they didn't get a full season. They didn't get a full off season. There's more growth here. But you talk about the talent that this guy possesses. He can mirror rushers. He is big. He is physical. And he's very light on his feet. You talk about the torque and turn at the line of scrimmage. Najee Harris is going to love running behind this guy because he will get his hands on you, he will latch you, and he will turn you out in space. Look at him run. Get out and run, big fella. So athletic out there. Again, another example of him in space. Moving targets, watch, that is just nasty. You shouldn't be able to move like that at that size, and I love the temperament with which he plays. He's got a little nasty to him, CD.
Yeah, and if you're thinking about it, left side.
The NFL is proud to be part of the global community that supports the life-changing wishes that Make-A-Wish grants. With World Wish Day only a couple days away, I'm joined by Kyle Stickles, a Make-A-Wish kid who battled and overcame bone cancer. Kyle's wish is to announce the first round pick of his favorite team, the New York Jets. I'd like all of you to join me in cheering on Kyle as his wish comes true. The floor is yours, Kyle. Go for it, buddy.
Here we go.
Thank you, Mr. Goodell. I'd also like to thank the NFL, the New York Jets, and the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Northeastern New York for giving me this opportunity tonight. Yeah!
Attaboy. Let's get it.
With the 15th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select Will McDonald, linebacker, Iowa State. Let's go! Yeah! Let's go!
What do you think, Daniel?
This is a fit pick. Will McDonald has the best bendability of any pass rusher in the draft. He's a little bit undersized at 239 pounds, but he can really get off the ball. If you think how the Jets play, they play their jet front where they kick you outside, give you in that wide nine with a big runway, and let you go. And this dude can absolutely do that. He showed up at 206 pounds on campus, continued to add weight, but was consistently productive. We talk about the ability to bend. Watch him corner right here. Once he clears the tackle, get flat right down the line and make the play on the quarterback. Spin moves, we saw this at the Senior Bowl. He's got a wicked spin move. He plays it off the speed. Here's Darnell Wright right here, a tackle we already saw go. There's the spin move. There he goes. He's going to join this wave of pass rushers they have with Robert Saleh in this defense.
With the 16th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Washington Commanders select Emmanuel Forbes, defensive back, Mississippi State.
So, Emmanuel Forbes out of Mississippi State in his state of joy. In the state of Mississippi. What do you think of this kid?
Well, you think about the comparisons. I really had two. You see Samari Roll there. He's only 166 pounds. The other one was Fred Smoot, another former Mississippi State corner who went where? To Washington. And you also think about Ron Rivera, how much he loved Josh Norman there in Carolina because of things like this. Elite instincts take the football away. He's 166 pounds, but somebody forgot to tell him because he plays with his hair on fire. Rolling downhill again, an aggressive tackler. He does not mind throwing that weight around. This is one of the plays that jumped out to me. What you do on special teams, on PAT and on field goal shows me what type of passion you have for the game. You see the block here against A&M. It gets returned for a touchdown. This guy is light, but make no mistake about it. He is a war daddy with a ton of production. 6 pick sixes during his time in college.
Yeah. With the 17th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the New England Patriots select Christian Gonzalez, defensive back, Oregon.
Well, this kid had a top 10 grade written all over him, and he falls to 17. This is a nice pick for the Patriots here.
He was my 10th overall player, 2nd overall corner. I did not anticipate he would last this long. The Patriots did a nice job, as you referenced, manipulating the draft board a little bit, getting some extra picks, and still getting a top 10 caliber player who brings some size, CD. They have some talented corners. They don't have a lot of size.
Yeah, that's the key, because remember who they had left? Marcus Jones last year, Jack Jones last year. Both of them did nice things for them, but not a lot of size out on the corner, and the receivers continue to get bigger in all divisions. One other thing to consider, guys, we've talked Pittsburgh, we've talked New England. The last few years, borderline playoff teams missing the playoffs. Mike Tomlin's tired of hearing about, I have never had a losing record. He wants to go deeper in the playoffs. And Bill Belichick, he's not used to missing the playoffs 2 out of the last 3 years. They're trying to get better right now to get back into the fight.
Oh, just think of all the quarterbacks you got to face in the AFC. You know, not only just in their own division, that's obvious, but even in the entirety of that conference. And this is a guy that has great length and good speed. Sub 4.4 in the 40. He actually committed to Mel Tucker at Colorado before Mel left for Michigan State. He remained committed to Colorado, then followed his position coach all the way to Oregon. 4 INTs last year for Dan Lanning's team up there with the Ducks. He's a really good player.
So Christian Gonzalez comes out of the green room right here, and Bill Belichick has himself a duck to put in the back of the pond right there in New England.
There you go.
Oh, nice look
there
right
you go.
there. All right.
Show it off.
Rich, if you got to slow down Waddle, you might as well get it done.
Well done. Well done. What do you like about him?
Well, again, just so rangy and such a smooth, fluid mover. Marshawn Lattimore with that size and fluidity was the comp. Again, Marshawn Lattimore has been an outstanding player in this league. It's tough to find guys this big that are this fluid and this athletic. He's a physical tackler. He's not at the level of Witherspoon in terms of how aggressive he is, but once he gets there, he's a physical guy. He can get his foot in the ground efficiently and drive downhill on the football. You see the ball skills right here. Catch the ball away from his frame. You can play him in a variety of coverages as a bigger guy. In New England, they're going to ask him to get nose to nose and press a little bit. You want to play him off in zone, he can do that as well. He's a complete corner. He is central casting for the body type you want at the position. All right, it's time for Next Gen Stats powered by AWS. We talked about those top overall draft scores. Oregon players, some great athletes on that list. He's right there at the very top with Marcus Mariota.
With the 18th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select Jack Campbell, linebacker, Iowa.
Wow. Well, here's what we've talked about with this draft, guys. We talked about once you get outside that top 15 or so, teams have these guys in all different order. Jack Campbell's one of the top linebackers in this class. Turns out he ends up being the first one off the board. Tackle to tackle as a run stuffer. He's outstanding. You guys know about the leadership. We'll get into that in a minute. But the lateral quickness, making plays down the line. He ran well. You see it here. He's a big linebacker. This has been kind of a trend over the last few years, getting big guys like this to not only be able to match up and cover guys in man, but in zone coverage, use all that size and length to be able to clog throwing lanes.
It's a draft.
Richard, you going to let Kansas City
With the
move out?
19th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers select Kalijah Kancey, defensive end, Pittsburgh.
He had a heck of a combine, and now he's going to Tampa.
Yeah, and listed him as a defensive end. He's an absolute tweener, right? At 280 pounds, he can play outside if you want him to. You can play him inside. The obvious comparisons are there. Ever since this dude started making plays at Pitt, he's an undersized defensive tackle. Obviously, Aaron Donald and what he's done. You can't compare anyone to Aaron Donald, but this guy plays with that type of energy and that type of quickness. Doesn't have his length or his overall power, but man, this guy gets off the rock. My comp was Ed Oliver for him. When you watch him get up the field and be disruptive, whether it's run or pass, he spends a lot of his time on the other side of the line of scrimmage. This was just fun to watch how quick he is. And then once he wins with the block, his closing quickness. Look at how violent and how quick and explosive his hands are. It's which way did he go, which way did who go type stuff from these offensive linemen. The vertical disruption. This is someone every now and then is going to get caught. He's going to get knocked around. But he wins early often. Early in the down, he wins and makes plays like this one right here. Incredibly disruptive. And then You want to run stunts in games like they like to do in that defense there in Tampa, he'll fit right in, CD.
I like how you slid Top Gun in there. That was pretty good. That was very subtle, but
right. Or you don't want to compare him to Aaron Donald, but we've got a graphic to do exactly that.
There you go.
But if you go team DNA, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, what was the position that drove them? Under tackle. Vita Vea is there as the monster tackle. Now a running mate with Kancey, who can be much more of an upfield penetrator and pass rusher.
The Seattle Seahawks are champions of growing the game of football at the youth and high school levels. Joining me on stage are local boys tackle football players and local girls flag players who are pioneers in flag football growth. These young men and women embody the NFL values of respect, integrity, resiliency, and responsibility to their teams. Congratulations on your accomplishments in your academic and football careers. Now to make the selection, please welcome Bethany Uribe. Go ahead, Bethany.
With the 20th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Seattle Seahawks select Jackson Njigba, wide receiver, Ohio State.
All right, so the first wide receiver taken is Jackson Smith Njigba, who had a remarkable Rose Bowl against Utah a couple of Januaries ago, and he's playing for a head coach who knows all about playing a game in that building. Ryan Day, the Ohio State head coach, hugging his third Buckeye of the night coming out of the green room following C.J. Stroud and Paris Johnson. It's now Jackson Smith Njigba going to the Pacific Northwest.
It's amazing to me if we were to go back in time a year ago and say, man, they just got another weapon for Geno Smith, just like we all predicted was going to happen. Hey, what a year for Geno. He played outstanding. Now you get a nice complementary piece. When you think about Lockett and DK Metcalf and now Jackson Smith Njigba, this is what it looks like to build a basketball team. All different sizes, all different skills.
I'll go back to 2021 because that Ohio State team, I saw a lot of them, as you guys know, and they had Garrett Wilson, reigning offensive rookie of the year. They had Chris Olave, outstanding rookie season. And to a man, those two guys and their coach, Brian Hartline, and even Ryan Day, the head coach, would have all said and did to me several times, this man, Jackson Smith Njigba, was the best receiver on the team. And I think we forget that because of the hamstring injury and that he didn't play a lot of football this last season.
And the other side of that coin is I think the presence of those two great receivers gave him some great matchups, and the same is going to happen here in Seattle because DK Metcalf, you know he's going to draw a lot of attention, and he's going to be able to get loose. This is an ideal slot. Joel touched on it. Didn't get to see him much this year, but just go back and watch the Rose Bowl, and you'll see all that you need to see from a guy who is an expert working in the middle of the field. He's a polished route runner. It's not a coincidence that his shuttle drills were off the charts at the combine because of his change of direction quickness. It shows up as a route runner. The transition once the ball gets to his hands is immediate. He gets up the field, gets everything he can. He's not a blazer, but he can really track the football. Even when he's got tight coverage, contested catches, he tracks it beautifully. He's got outstanding hands. So this is a nice receiving core they've developed here. He leaves one at Ohio State and joins another one there in Seattle.